Is it possible for you to make $500 in one weekend doing food delivery? Today, I want to talk to you about a challenge that I had for myself this last weekend and kind of talk to you about what you can do on a weekend to get the money that you want to get when you're out there doing food delivery. So I'm going to break it down for you today and talk to you about my weekend and what happened over my weekend, and hopefully you can take away something that might help you realize what you can do with food delivery currently, even though it's a little bit slower, even though the orders are coming in a little bit less, you can still get out there and really get the money that you want to make. My name is John McFall, and I want to welcome you to the McFallRI channel, where I teach you how to make $25 to $30 an hour doing food delivery. On Friday night, I posted this short that talked about the fact that I challenged myself to make $500 in a weekend. And this started on Friday evening. I didn't start working until about 6 o'clock p.m. on Friday evening, and I ended up working Friday night. I worked Saturday for most of the day, and then I worked for a lot of time on Sunday. And you know, after I did this, I ended up getting close to my goal. I didn't quite reach the whole $500, but I got really close to my goal. And I want to talk to you about setting up goals for yourself when you're out here doing food delivery and achieving those goals that you want to set for yourself so that you can get the money that you and your family need. The thing about this is you know, I did this over a 3-day period. Over a weekend. As many of you know, I also work a full-time job, so I don't have the chance to get out and do food delivery full-time right now. But if you are wanting to get out there and get a certain amount of money, the way that you do this is you set up these goals for yourself and you hit the ground running, get the action behind it to get those goals accomplished so that you can make the money that you want to make while you're out here doing food delivery. So let's break down exactly what I did on the apps over the course of the 3 days that I worked. On DoorDash, I made $191.75. This was the total for the weekend. On Uber Eats, I made $68.61. And on GrubHub, I made $223.38 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And this brings me to a total of $483.74. So overall, I actually got really close to my goal, and I actually could have made probably another $100 had I worked into the dinner rush on Sunday night. But I actually stopped doing deliveries at around 4:30 on Sunday because I just wanted to, you know, be able to relax for the evening because I had to wake up and go to work the next day. So overall, I got $483.74 and basically met my goal that I had for the weekend. So if you want to make this kind of money when you're out doing food delivery, if you want to make any certain amount of money when you go out there, the first thing that you need to do is you need to set up realistic goals. I knew going into the weekend that I was working Friday night, I was working Saturday, and I was working Sunday. So I know in my marketplace that I could set up goals for myself that were going to get me the money that I wanted to make when I went out to do food delivery. I knew that I could make at least $100 on Friday night. I ended up at $112. I knew that I could go out early on Saturday and I could work breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I could make a ton of money on Saturday. And then I also knew that on Sunday I could go out and start working the morning shift and work through lunch and get the money that I wanted to make. So it's really important when you are going out to do food delivery that you set up your goals for you. And if you have a certain amount of money that you need to make during the week, set up your goals so that you can know exactly how much time you have to put into being out there to do food delivery. And after you set your weekly goal, the next thing that you want to do is you want to set up what your daily goal is. And this is really important because in food delivery, as you know, we go out there and there are good days and there are bad days. So my point is that if I would have gone out on Friday night and I had a bad night out there, I would have known that I would have needed to work more on Saturday and Sunday to accomplish my goals. However, if I went out on Friday night and just knocked it out of the park, I ended up getting more than I thought that I would on Friday night this last weekend. Then I knew that I was going into my next days ahead of my goal, so I was able to have a little bit lighter Saturday and Sunday because I got where I needed and above on Friday night. So it's really important when you're out here doing food delivery that you set the goals up for yourself so you know what you're trying to accomplish. The second thing I did to make sure that I hit my goals was every day when I was out there doing deliveries, as I accepted orders, I kept track of the amount of money that I was making overall. I had my calculator open on my phone, and each time I accepted an order, I added that amount onto where I was so that I knew exactly where I was with my goal that I had set for myself. So it's really important that when you're out here doing food delivery, keep track of the amount of money that you're making so that you know where you are in relation to the goals that you're set for yourself. And this will allow you to be able to tell if you need to work a little bit more or you need to work a little bit less depending on how much you've made. So make sure that when you're out here and you set those goals for yourself, that you keep track of where you are as you're doing delivery so you know exactly what you need to get. The final thing that I really want to stress about setting up goals and getting the money that you need when you're out here doing food delivery is this. When I first started food delivery, as many of you know by watching some of my older videos, I started doing food delivery because I was behind on some things and I needed to catch some things up, pay off some debt, pay off some credit cards, and I had some work that I needed to get done on my SUV. So when I first started doing food delivery, I actually set up a spreadsheet for myself that laid out everything that I needed to get money for and that I needed to pay off so I could set up my goals for the week. If you're doing this full time and you know what your bills are and you know what you need for things like your taxes and for your retirement and for your savings and for your insurance and things like that, make sure when you go into your weeks that you are taking a look at what your budget requires. If you set up yourself for success from the beginning by knowing what you need to get when you're out there, this makes it a whole lot easier to know what you need to be doing on a daily basis to accomplish what you want to accomplish. If you want to pay off debt, or you want to buy a car, or you want to go on vacation, you want to pay down credit cards, you want to have some extra money in your checking account, make sure that you're setting up a budget, whether it's to pay off debt or to pay your bills, so that you know exactly where you need to be when you go out there, because you can be a lot more motivated when you're out here doing food delivery if you know that you've got to get a certain amount of money for a certain thing and you have to have that money. And that'll really motivate you to set up your daily and your weekly goals when you're out here doing food delivery, so you keep motivated to get out there and getting what you and your family deserve. I hope you took something out of this video today. I challenged myself this last weekend because I wanted to show you guys that you could do food delivery and you could get the money that you wanted to make while you're out here, while going based off of the goals that you've set for yourself. I want to remind you that down here in my description I do have some great tools for you guys. The one I want to talk about is my metric spreadsheet. If you want to see how well you're doing overall when you're out here doing food delivery, go down into my description and go grab this free download, and I'm going to throw it up here on the screen real quick so you guys can take a quick look at it. If you look at the left-hand side, you'll see I always put my start time and my end time. This gives me the total time that I've worked. I also put in the miles, and then if you head to the right, you'll see for each app, I put the dollars that I've made, the time that I worked, along with the number of deliveries. Head to the bottom, and you'll see it calculates out what your average dollar per hour, dollar per mile, and your average per delivery. Keeping track of your numbers will show you where you are when you're out here doing food delivery overall, because as we know, days are good and days are bad. So if you want to know where you are on average and overall, this metric spreadsheet will help you, and it'll also help you improve what you're doing out there. I'd also like to ask you to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. Finally, I want to leave you with, I hope that you are out there getting the money that you and your family deserve. And with that, I want to say thanks.